tell us the bad stuff about China, if there's anything bad. Everything on this channel always seems so overly positive about the country. Overly positive? That's not true. Alright. Okay, I do agree. Over the past year, this channel has become the biggest sales pitch for living in China. I mean, bullet trains, the delicious street food, safety, everything good you will see on this channel. The truth is, yeah, you know, this channel has been really positive, and it's mostly because I've had a really positive experience for the past 5 years while living in China. So, I guess I'm quite biased then, right? This country isn't perfect. Nowhere is, right? Well, except for Switzerland, living in a small cabin on those beautiful mountains. So, I've come up with 10 reasons why not to move to China. Some are obvious and others might come as a surprise to you. Now, some of you will definitely feel like I'm betraying you, I'm betraying China, and my name will not be because I'm Lizzy anymore. You'll make it because I'm a fraud. Crushing dreams. And this is also not one of those clickbait videos where I'm telling you not to move to China because the food is just too delicious. You'll get too poor and too fat. No, get out. That's not this video. So let's dive right in. So first up, we got personal space. If you live in China and you want to watch a movie by yourself, you will never quite be alone. You will literally hear everyone around you, and it will feel like everyone in the apartments below, next to you, above you, are watching the movie with you. Like, for example, my neighbors upstairs, they have kids, definitely, because around 9-10 p.m. at night, you can just hear like a bunch of Legos fall on the floor, and it's running from this side to that side like they're having a race. And next to me, the neighbors fight so bad that I can literally hear every single word. Like just last night, the woman was fighting and she was really mad at the guy because he wasn't subscribed to my channel. Ding, ding. Wow, that's really ridiculous even for me. A little bit sad. But yeah, go subscribe. But yeah, personal space is a real thing. Like if you're living in an apartment here, the apartments are huge, they are cheap. It's amazing to live in these apartments and you get a lot for it. But is it worth it to like live with all your neighbors beside you, above you and below you? I don't know. Then it's not just personal space in the apartment, but also outside. Have you ever waited in a queue, stood at the airport waiting for them to check your ticket, and these people will stand so tight against you, put their ass against your body like they're grinding you in a club? I'm not joking. It's really like, yeah, personal space outside is also not a thing. And like China has a lot of people, right? That's also why you shouldn't travel during holidays. Because you will stand at a tourist attraction, taking some pictures, buying some famous drinks, and you will just feel these people grinding up against you like it's some dating app, finding someone. Yeah, personal space is not a big thing in China. Next, we got the land of the rising overtime. You know, there's a reason everything works so well in China. Everything is built so fast. It's actually mind-blowing, you know, because the Chinese people work really hard. But it comes with a price. A lot of them give up their personal life because they believe hard work is everything. So working for a Chinese company will definitely be difficult. Because let's be honest, Western countries don't work this hard. Most Western countries that I've ever been to, the people are quite lazy there. And like, especially going to work, it's not that efficient all the time at work. But here in China, even people don't really take their holidays. Sometimes they are forced to take their holidays, and other times they just don't. Because here, yes, I do think it got better in the past few years, but here if you take leave and you're not at work that much, people kind of gossip behind your back, definitely not to your face. But like, the most important thing in China is you should just be at work. You don't need to do that much, especially during holidays, But if you are at work, people will commend you, be like, wow, so hardworking. Like, yeah, you will be seen as not a team player if you don't go to work. And the big problem is people don't really get paid for working overtime, which has been a big problem at my previous company with the Chinese staff. I really felt like it was so unfair. But again, it is improving. So don't yap at me because of this video. I am saying it's improving, but there are also some stuff that a lot of people outside of this country do not know, and I'm here to share it today. Haha, next we got goodbye independence. When I first moved here, I needed a new phone number, I needed a new bank card, I needed everything new, right? And you would think, oh, well, after 5 years, you can do everything by yourself. Well, that is not the case, even though you could speak Chinese maybe after 5 years. And then I will complain right now because you always need someone, because they need to fill in the papers for you, because it's just so much paperwork and they just know what to do. Like Chinese people just know Chinese people's ways to talk and how to do business and, you know. So yeah, I'm complaining. So do not tell me, well, then don't move to China. Because no matter what, if you move to a different country where you don't speak the language, you will always need someone to go with you. And it's kind of ridiculous sometimes. Like even going to the hospital for something serious, it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to be safer if I take someone with me, or I need to go do my visa. Yeah, it's safer to go with someone because they know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing and get kicked out of the country. So yeah, you are definitely not independent. You are in a relationship with the Chinese staff here. Not just any relationship, but a dependent relationship. So that's fun. Standing out. Imagine walking home after a really bad day and you get to the crossing and it's red and you stand there. And as you look to your side and your other side, you see all these people staring at you like you're some kind of zoo animal that just got out and you need to be caught. And then the tension starts building and building. It's like, did I do something wrong? Are these people watching me because the police are looking for me? Yeah, a lot of stuff can go through your head, and then the light turns green and then it's actually nothing. But yeah, even after a while, you do not get used to the stares, and sometimes it can be bothering, other times it can be fun. It depends on your day. But yeah, if you're having a bad day, you definitely stand out more, and maybe you feel even more that people are looking at you, and it can get daunting. Yeah, it's actually sad sometimes, you know, like children, they'll just point right at you. They do not give a care. They will just like point right at you. La why? Oh, mama, ni ka, ikaw外国人. Look, mom, it's a foreigner. Yeah, it can get bad. And getting in the subway, no one wants to sit next to you. You're like, do I smell bad? Why do these people not want to sit next to me? Yeah, definitely standing out is a big thing that people with a lot of anxiety should definitely be aware about before moving to China, because I'm pretty confident, but sometimes I do walk with my head down and just get through the crowd sometimes. Next, we got stuck in the past. Yep, equality. Leftover women, for example. Did you know if you're over 27 and you're not married, then yep, you are considered leftover. And then you are not attractive anymore. Yes, again, it's changing a bit. Women are becoming more powerful. They don't need marriage to be seen as successful anymore, or get kids if they don't want. But also with this, it kind of comes from the one-child policy that China had a few years ago, where most families preferred boys. So now there are so many men in China and so little women that it's just, you would think that a man would just want to get married, but like after 27, the women are like, nope, the men just don't want them anymore. It's really that bad. Like so many of my friends, they're like 30 and they are not married yet, and they have become more powerful. They're like, yeah, my parents keep on complaining, and yeah, it's very irritating, but I don't want to get married. I have not found someone that I love. Did you guys know, according to the Gender Gap Index, China ranks 106 in the world. So, I mean, I feel like it's improving. China isn't lost, we're getting somewhere, and I feel like many more women in China are powerful. They just don't care that much about marriage anymore, like the norm. They just like thriving in business, doing their own thing, doing whatever they want, and for that is successful. So woman empowerment, you know, all the way. I am a woman making videos in China. Not a lot of women making videos, so let's go, woman. But yeah, at least it's getting better. But that is still a big thing you will see here. Like, there was a time I came to China one night, I remember, went to eat barbecue, and there was like 6 or 7 men and 1 or 2 women. And the women were kind of, not forced, but they were kind of seen to be the hostess. Like, they were supposed to stand up and pour the drinks and do everything all the time. And I was just like, you stand up, man. You go get the drinks. You pour the drinks for the woman. That's how it's supposed to be in other countries, right? And a lot of the times, like, again, I actually do know some men now that stay at home and the women are working, so the men look after the kids. But in most households still in China, it's like the man is seen as a guy who brings in the money, right? So he's the one working and he can do whatever he wants. So after work, he can go drink with his friends, come home 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, be drunk, and the woman should just take care of the kids. The grandparents are not always there to also help the mom. So yeah, that's the gender gap still going, but improving. Remember, improving. It's complicated. There's always been this perception that if you're a foreigner and you come to China, you will immediately have this rock star status. The girls or the men will be all over you and just want to date you because you are, you know, a foreigner. Well, I'm here to tell you that, my friends, is not the case. That is not how it is at all. If you come here like a fatty who drank too much in their country and you think you are going to be seen as handsome or wanted in China, nope, it's still going to be the same. You're still going to have to lose some weight and take care of yourself and become a bit more healthy and maybe just a better woman or man. But no, this is not at all true. Most Chinese and actually most Asians, like, they don't prefer to date foreigners because, especially with the parents, I can promise you that the parents are not like, ooh, I hope my daughter can bring home a foreign man. How amazing will that be? No, parents don't really have that want, that need in their hearts. And actually, you know what? Let me just save the foreigners here because it's pretty much the same for a foreigner as well. Dating a Chinese, things can get serious very quick. Yes, it's not a surprise here. Maybe even on the first date, you hear about marriage and children and the future. Yeah. A lot of us run away sometimes too quick. And I think it's not always the Chinese, it's not their fault because it's all they know. For them, marriage isn't always about love like it is for foreigners. Like it is about, you know, for foreigners it's about finding love, finding the right personality, finding someone who can do things with you, you know, falling in love with your best friend like in the movies. It's really the expectation we have. But for Chinese, marriage isn't always that. Sometimes marriage is literally as simple as a business proposal. It's like, okay, this person ticks all the boxes, so he must be the man. He must be the one for me. And there's not love. Sometimes I do agree there is love in some relationships, but in a lot of relationships, love is not the first thing. Next, an apple a day, they say, keeps the doctor away. The medicine in China is disgusting. It's these small packs that dissolves in water and it just tastes and smells horrible. To be honest, here you don't go to a doctor like in my country. We go to like your house doctor, right? Like that lives around the block. Here, no, if something is wrong, you'd probably 80% of the time go to the hospital, even if it's just for a flu and you want some medicine. Don't get me wrong, the hospitals are amazing, they're clean, the staff is great. I would just suggest going to the right place. So my advice is just be healthy, you know, stick to a healthy diet. And if you do need to go to the doctor or to a hospital, talk to other foreigners who've been somewhere and hear their experience and hear from them, and then go where someone has gone before. Same with dentists. I've heard before that dentists sometimes don't really numb you. So I definitely have a feel for that. I literally went to the dentist last week and I'm like, please numb me, just do it. Just for safety, you know. I'd rather pay some extra money and make sure that I don't feel anything. Mental health, on the other hand, it's absolutely taboo to talk about mental health in China. So again, if you are, coming to China and you do have chronic disorder and, you have some depression going on, you need medicine, my suggestion would be to get an online therapist or bring medicine from your country. Because literally, one of my friends, it was like my first or second year, she went to the doctor, asked for depression medication, and he's just like, be more happy. Woo! Thanks, doc. That is depression cured for the world. Just be more happy. So yeah, just go to the right places when it comes to hospitals. The land of opportunity, right? China's economy is up there and China is doing amazing, and they always talk about how hard people work here and the amazing job opportunities for foreigners. But to be honest, the number one opportunity in China is just teaching English. So, if you want to work in a big company and not teach English, you need to remember you need to be better than the Chinese. And when it comes to a different culture, they just know how to work with each other, right? How to do business, how to keep each other happy, how to sign the big deals. And by the way, your Chinese needs to be exceptional. So yeah, maybe you can be a translator in a big company and like translate for big businesses to when they have big meetings with some foreign companies, you can do that. And I also have some friends actually that work in car companies. But again, it needs to have some kind of English in there. I think if you want to work for a Chinese company, definitely anyway, you'll be in the bigger cities. So if you would like somewhere more quiet, yeah, the opportunities will not be that big as you might think. Making friends. Wow, what a sad thing. Mostly foreigners stick with foreigners. Not just in China, but in most Asian countries. And, when I came here, not a lot of people can speak English. I mean, you're coming to a different country, right? My suggestion is learn Chinese, but it does take some time. So if you plan on coming to China in a year, just learn some Chinese. It can maybe help you a little bit because then you can make friends with Chinese people who can speak English, but also that, speak kind of broken English and you're broken Chinese, and some way you can communicate with each other. But yeah, most friends are foreign friends, and then obviously it's nice to have some Chinese friends as well. But the thing is with Chinese people, the friendships and stuff, they don't really talk about deep things, if you understand what I mean. Like, they don't really talk about relationships that deeply, or family stuff, or what's going on with your life. Chinese friends are great, don't get me wrong. I mean, every time you tell them what's wrong, they always want a solution. They don't really understand the fact of, maybe you should just listen. But yeah, just remember that when you guys are coming to China, I would suggest learn some Chinese, just to make more friends. And especially if you are a little bit shy, I would suggest you speak in Chinese, because otherwise you will literally just have your foreign pool that you can maybe make friends with. Yeah, it's sad actually. You're always an outsider if you are a foreigner in China, and you kind of just get used to it and you have your group of friends, and anyway, it's quality over quantity, right? Lastly, we have endless rules. What not to do. Those videos are always so famous on YouTube, so popular, of what not to do in a country, but it's kind of awkward to make those kind of videos, especially when it comes to China. Like, the Chinese etiquette that they have here can be so intimidating. They have so many rules. And a lot of you are like, oh, screw the rules, I'll do whatever I want. If you're that type of person, I would suggest maybe not coming to China, because yeah, you're coming to a different country that has a different culture than you, so you have to adapt to them. And anyway, you already stand out as a foreigner, right? So please don't do something weird. I will put the link down in my description of a video I made when I actually just started making YouTube about what not to do in China. Like, for example, giving funeral flowers to someone on Valentine's Day. Stuff like that. Giving a couple a pair of shoes, because that means it implies that they are running away from each other, stuff like that. And if someone offers you food, you need to say no like 3 times and then say yes. So yeah, it can get quite intimidating. But that is it for my video, the 10 reasons why I think people should not move to China. And I know this video will be because I'm a fraud and not because I'm Lizzy, but it's just the truth about stuff going on in China. You know, I would love for people to come to China and know all the good, all the bad, and still choose to stay here and love this country. So I feel like this video was much needed. I still hope you guys appreciate it and still love me as before. But yeah, sometimes, especially if I'm making videos for people outside of China, it's important for them to know everything before they come. But thanks for watching until the end. Remember to like this video, even if you love me a little bit less. That's okay. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.